Hi. So it's 2020 now. Supposedly perfect vision. This is Jennifer from Jen's Health Hut. And I'm always pushing for good health and people to take care of themselves and teach those things to our youth. How to eat healthy, how to take care of your mind, your soul, your body. But today we're going to talk about this thing that's been eating at me. This abduction, young girls and even young boys being abducted and raped, molested, sold, just gone forever. Just children being taken. There's no perfect remedy to stop this from happening. But there are things that we can do and teach our children to help make it less likely that our children becomes the next victim. You know, and some of the things that I think that are important, and I'm talking these out because in just some of my conversations, I found that some parents think that some of these things are crazy, and I'm just thinking, we have to prepare our children. We have to be the ones that help them identify some of the signs, and maybe, just maybe, it's in time enough where they can get away. You know, children are constantly raped, stolen, walking home, going to the mall, hanging with their friends. We have to help prepare our kids. And some of the things that I feel helps. One, we need to teach our children confidence about who they are. Make them feel confident in their decisions. Help them learn to make wiser decisions so that when they feel that something's not right, this adult or this person is doing something that's not right, they don't feel like, maybe I shouldn't be saying anything. They know this is not right and I should be speaking up. An authority figure or not doesn't mean you're always right. You are doing something that's not right. One of the things that I taught my son is no adult should ever be telling you, a kid, to keep a secret from me, your mama. Why? Trigger. Teach your children trigger words, trigger phrases. No one should ever say that unless it's a surprise birthday party. That's it. Other than that, why is an adult telling a child, hey, I'm going to do this to you, or I'm going to do something, and hey, you know what? I don't want you to tell your mom or dad, okay? It's our secret. Let us have a little secret. And kids think that's wonderful. Teach them that those are triggers for a very malicious and bad person. No adult should ever tell a child to keep a secret from their parents. Like I said, unless it's a birthday party and you're helping with it. Other than that, why are you telling my child to not tell me something? I drilled that into my child's head from the moment he could speak. There's no reason an adult should ever tell you, don't tell your mom or don't tell your dad. So that helps give them confidence and understand and recognizing one, hey, wait, so maybe this adult is telling me for us to keep a secret isn't such a good thing. Why is she saying, or why is he saying, don't tell my parents? I need to go and tell my mom about that. Something's not right. It may seem innocent to the kid at first, but when they hear those words, they at least know there's something potentially malicious coming down the line. No adult should be saying that. Never, ever, ever. Code words. Give your children code words. One of the things that I did with my son was we came up with a code word. And the the reason I did that was I said, well, what if he's with someone at the time and they allow him to call me or something, but that person he's in danger. My son's in danger. That person is not doing something good, but he can't say it to me. So we came up with a very innocent code word that he could say that they would never catch on to. It was something as simple as, actually, our code word at the time was applesauce. So I knew if he ever, called me, was talking really strange and said, man, I would really like some applesauce or something like that. Just say that. That was our code word. Then I knew there was something wrong and I needed to get to my son. I also gave him a code word. A lot of children are abducted or hurt by people they know that are just angry and trying to get back at the parents. So I gave him a code word as well. So if someone came to get him from somewhere and he knew them, kids are more inclined, oh, my mommy knows this person. I've seen my mommy be all happy and nice, and this person has been nice with my mommy and they've had fun. Your child is not going to think or know about something that may have happened, or maybe the mother realized this person is malicious. I need to get him away from my child. So I gave my son a code word with that. If someone comes to pick you up from somewhere and it wasn't pre-planned and I didn't tell you myself, if they cannot give you that code word, then you do not open the door. You do not leave the park with them. You do not leave the school with them. You do not go anywhere with them. If you're walking down the street and they come up to you, if I told them to come, then they'll know that code word. If they don't, I didn't send them. So you keep doing what it is you're doing according to the plan that we initially had. Next thing. I know a lot of us don't want to tell our children about the woes of the world. We want to let a child be a child. But you have to let your children know. You have to prepare them for what's out there. And yes, some of those things may scare them a little bit, but you explain that there's a balance to it. But the thing is, in order for me to let you go play or let you go to your friend's house or let you go here or let you go there, I need to first arm you. So we have to arm our children. I've met a lot of people that got mad at me because I may have explained certain dangers out there, about rape or how someone may try to trick you or get you, and the parents got mad at me. I don't want my kids to know that. And I said, well, why? Well, I want them to be a kid. But the thing is, this stuff is happening to kids. Okay? So if you don't let them know that things happen like that, so they're aware of the signs, so that way you can prepare them like, hey, if a person does this, there's a good chance that this or whatever. You can't send them out there oblivious to the woes of the world and the ills of the world. You can't do that. Yes, it would be wonderful if we could send our children out there and never have to tell them any of these horrible things. But we need to. They need to know. Someone pulling up close to them while they're in a car driving close to them, want to ask them a question. Something not right with that. Adults stop and ask children questions in cars, not common. No. Teach them to get away from that. Teach them to get away. You teach them to understand that not everybody is wonderful. Another thing, which is major to me in helping our children be able to fend for themselves in these situations. Teach them to eat right. Teach them health. Physical fitness, health, and teaching all that is so important to me. Because if your child happens, no one plans for the children to be in those situations, but it can happen. And I needed to know for me that my son was prepared for everything. So I made sure he ate healthy. I made sure he exercised. I made sure he was able, I taught him self-defense. Because he's a kid, he's small. He's smaller than the attacker. So I needed to teach him little things that he could do, to stomp a foot or gouge an eye or something. And then run as fast as he could and get away from that person that was trying to abduct him or hurt him or take him or whatever the case is. I meet so many people that, oh, please, leave it alone. They're kids. Let them eat those Twinkies. Let them eat this. Oh, they don't have to do that. Don't worry about that. Let them be kids. We keep forgetting that what a childhood is adult practice. You're practicing the type of adult you're going to be. So in being a kid and having fun and all that, a big part of it is learning how to be. So letting your child do all these things that will not be conducive in their adulthood hurts them. We hurt them. Another thing, privacy. Nowadays, we got these parents that are all into my, well, I'm trying to give my child privacy. Are you freaking kidding me? Good kid or not, your child deserves no privacy. Sorry. When they get their own place, live on their own, paying their own rent, they can have privacy. While they're living with me, you're a child. It's my job to guide you. I need to know what you're doing, who you're talking to, who is potentially influencing you, especially with this online environment that we are in nowadays. And I explained to my son. He didn't like it at first, but he understood. I said, listen, I can't let you do and say whatever you want to do online. I need to know who you're talking to. I need to know who's influencing you. I need to know. So I talked to him about the things that people will do online. And I said, and that's why I need to know who you're connected with, you know? And periodically, I may jump in on a conversation because I need to keep you safe. You're still learning. So this thing of they need private, no, they don't. They need your guidance. They need your love. They need your protection. And you worrying about being their friend and giving them all of this privacy hurts them. It's your job to protect them. They're still learning. They don't know the things you know. So no, stop with the they need all this privacy. Sorry. I don't care how good your kid is. You need to check in on some things they don't expect you to check in on sometimes. Their bedrooms, their drawers, their phones, their tablets. I keep seeing this, oh, it's my room. No, it's not. You're lending them that room. You pay all the bills. And when you give a child too much privacy, good kid or not, it leaves the room open for some of these online predators to step in and talk your child into meeting them somewhere, into not telling you something. You need to stay vigilant and stop confusing parenting with friendship. Because I can't be concerned about being my son's best friend when I need to be his protector, his guide, his mentor. That's what I'm concerned about. Now, my son didn't understand a lot of those things when he was younger, but he thanks me every day now. And he's like, wow, wow, wow. Our job is to prepare them. Childhood is nothing more than practicing to be an adult. So teach them trigger words that people use and say. Don't tell your parents, it's our secret. I'm your friend. Teach them self-defense. Teach them how to eat healthy. Teach them how to take care of their bodies so they're stronger and they can run away and have a little more strength and little techniques to get away from a potential predator. You know, explain these dangers. Like I said, I know we want to hide them from everything, but that's to their disadvantage. You have to tell them, hey, people do these kind of things. I told my son all those things. It didn't make him a scared kid. It made him aware as he walked, as he went places, and if someone said something, he went, hey, my mommy, tell me about people like you. Teach them confidence. Teach them to not be afraid to speak up. I know my methods were a little unorthodox, but they worked. We were always taught to tell our kids don't speak to strangers. So I told my son the opposite. I decided, let's try it another way around. So you see somebody, it's okay to say hello. Because I needed to take away the fear. What happens is our children get this fear. Everyone's the boogeyman now. So you can say hi, but also if they say anything like this, try to get close to you, this is that, this is what you do. Therefore, it took away that fear. He was no longer afraid. He wasn't afraid of anyone. You know, one time, and give you an example, he was 4 years old, and I was standing on the corner of 34th Street by Macy's, which is very busy in New York City. And this bum guy was sitting at the corner in front of the train station that was going down. And he kept signaling my son to come to him. And he kept going, shh, come, trying to get my son to come. I didn't see it. So he's holding up like a candy or something, trying to lure my son in this crowded street to come to him. But because of my training, before I knew anything, my son started yelling, hey, my mom told me about people like you. You want to lure me, a kid? And yes, my son said lure. He was that kind of 4-year-old. A kid over to you and then do something bad to me? She told me about people like you. And then you tell me, shh, don't tell her? She told me you're a bad. So he's screaming at this person. No fear. So it made everyone turn around and start attacking. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, he wasn't afraid to speak up. So teach the confidence. Teach a code. Explain the dangers. Then don't be secretive about your own life. Tell your child the things that happened in your past. So often we don't want to tell them things that happen and we think we're protecting them. Actually, we're hurting them. So I've talked to so many people and we went into situations that we wouldn't have had our parents told us about their past, their situation. Stop with the secretiveness. Eliminate all the secretiveness. It helps when they know the truth. You know, give them a safe space. So I was a very strict parent, but you know, once a month or once every 2 months, my son and I had these sessions where he can sit there and tell me anything he was thinking without consequence. He had to be respectful, but he could tell me anything he was thinking. How he thought about some of the things that I wouldn't let him do, what he thought about that, what he thought about my parenting, why I did certain things. And I learned a lot, you know, and then I was able to explain to him, no, because that's not, I don't, you know, he thought I didn't love him because I didn't give him anything he wanted. And I didn't even know he was thinking that, you know, but we had those kind of conversations and I was able to explain to him why in more detail. Because once I heard his side of what he was thinking, then I was able to explain my side even better. And it just made our relationship better and closer. And he was ready to tell me even more things. You know, run through drills even if you have to. Stop leaving our children unprotected. Stop not telling them about these things. And it leaves them in a situation where rape happens and then they don't tell anyone. Abductions happen and you never see them again. All kinds of abuse. This is serious. We need to change how we're doing these things. I'm not saying I have the perfect answer, but I'm saying in my observation, I'm in my 50s now, of what we've been doing and the fact that it's not working. Maybe there's a few things we can change. And one of the biggest things I see is we keep secrets, too many secrets from our children. Let them know what's going on. You know, let them know what's going on. And let me see, did I hit all the points I wanted to make? Yeah. Yes, teach them to pay attention to their environment. Put those phones down. Because we have that issue now. You know, I teach a self-defense class and we got real video of people just walking around doing this. And people attacked them, snatched them, threw them in cars, beat them up, and did whatever they wanted to do because they were paying no attention. They were texting and they were talking on the phone while walking. Teach them and instill in them how important that is to not do that. When you're walking on the street, put that phone in your pocket. It shouldn't be in your hand. Pay attention to your environment. It doesn't mean you walk around like, making them all scared. It's just we don't live in this Eden that we would love to pretend we do. And sitting here not telling your children these things leaves them vulnerable. You can't have them by your side all the time. That even makes it worse. Then they don't know how to be. You're not going to be there always. So I've met some parents that what they do is the kids stay with them all the time. They're 15, they're 16, they're 17, and they don't even know how to be in their own skin. The thing is, we're not going to be there. We can't be there all the time. And if you do that, then you end up making them not know how to function at all in the world. And you're not going to be there forever. So let's do what we can to thwart some of these situations where kids are being abducted and, you know, they're being abducted and raped and sent to prostitution and killed. And this is real. It's a real issue. And that's what I have to say about this. Spread the word, and let's do something a little different and make our children a little safer in this crazy world. Collectively, we can do this. You have any other suggestions? Put it in the comments below. Other things. But these are some of the things that I wanted to point out. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's make a change.